like I really don't belong. I can't explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? Okay, I'm doing a million things at once. Okay, so what do we have today? Oh, I'm missing my seat. Okay, the rice crackers are starting to brown around the edges, but they look like they're a little too poofy, which I'm trying not to make poofy. I'm trying to get them to just get crispy. So I might end up thinning some of the batter out and dropping it so it spreads on its own. But I made these today too. It's been a very busy day in the kitchen. I've been having a blast. Ta-da! This was actually my sample, and I took it out while it was not quite done. And it is still too gooey. This is from First Batch Chocolate. These are triple chocolate fudge cookies. And I made a couple gigantic ones in the end. Problem is, it comes with, I did not have to add any chocolate this time because it is so gooey. Well, here, we'll take this one as an example. it's untempered chocolate that they made the batter with. So it opens up to a beautiful, very moist. It's almost like a brownie. Stay there. Okay. Tea is needed. I say I'm off center again. Okay, I will move these. If I can't share them, it's not the same. These do smell good though. Depan these. All right. Let's get a napkin. Okay, so this is the first attempt. Get back in the center. It's too hot, so it's not going to crisp up the way I'm hoping it yet. Let's try that. Oh, that's yummy. So the rice seems to have done just a little bit of rising. Because you can't go wrong with sesame in my house. Oh, so good when it's toasted like that. Okay, we'll let this cool down. This is to absorb any excess moisture. There's no fat in this at all. 0 oil or butter. The only calories really coming in this is from the sesame seeds. And you have to eat a lot of those to come up to 150 calories. The rice is just jasmine rice and water. And then in that also, oh, I forgot about, we've got coconut. No, it's gotta be thinner. No, the snap's not there. Maybe if they bake a little longer. Because the edges, yep, that's good right there. But the center is too thick. All right, well, after I enjoy my next little painting session, while you're all gone, I'll go ahead and thin this out and drop liquidy batter onto the pan. Okay. Come on. Broken hinge. There you are. Yeah, so did I for a little while. But then I remembered it was yesterday I canceled my trip to the store on the old lady bus. Like, oh, that's Wednesday. There's been a lot going on. It does distort time. So what are you working on? It's the senior center bus. It goes some days on one side of town and other days the other side of town. So Wednesday is my side of town. Your thoughts are, is that a cloud? Is it smoke? Is it yet 4:20? Oh, it's so fun to have a troll today. It's been a long time. And it was one that was as smart as a rock. Not gravel, a rock. Of course, that's not as smart as a box of rocks. But still. Oh, is it dry over there? Yeah, both of them. Yeah, I know it's a thing. It's also a senseless, stupid thing that I have no interest in playing. It's like, go to TikTok. Fuck you. You just want to sit around and be stupid. Please do it somewhere else. You know? Now, you being a guy, well, you did have sisters. Do you remember in the old days when we were kids? The chain mail? Chain letters? Not chain mail. I know, it's like, how fucking bored do you have to be that boring? We have all kinds of serious shit going on. Not that I want people staring at all the serious shit, you know my opinion about that, but that's important. That's what they want to chitter and chatter about. Well, all that stuff, it's like the equivalent of the old letters. When that happened, an email, I got so pissed off. I was like, people, are you kidding me? Do you not remember this from junior high school? Or was it? No, I think I was in 6th grade when I encountered my first chain letter. Even then, I could not understand why they would get pissed with me if I did not want to participate. So, I did. Back when you paid a real stamp on a real envelope and you mailed something with $1, which of course I never saw again. If you send this to everybody on the bottom of the list, you'll get back at the end of 30 days. I don't remember the convoluted math. I know it never made sense to me, but I wasn't good at math. So, you know, I was used to math not making sense to me. Yeah, that's just, it has to be done better. I don't like these softy things. Well, at my age, I don't know about you, because you are younger than me, but I'm kind of done with that stupid shit. We have just so much stupid going on in the world right now. I can't abide any more of it in my presence. I have to put up with some stuff just because, well, you know, you do have to deal with the public in real life. And you do have to come face to face with idiots. Yeah, that's a vampire. You know, you're an energetic vampire. Did anybody ever tell you that? If you ever get a word in edgewise worth of, that's what you should say, and see if you can shut her up for a minute. Nobody wants to hear that they're a vampire. That's not flattering. You're an energy vampire, darling. You can't shut up. You keep sucking people's energy right out of them. When you leave, everybody else is exhausted and you're energized. Sign of a vampire. I think we need a little bit more. Yeah, I bet. 10 seconds. Yeah, that's a sickness. It's a mental illness, a mental health issue for sure. Not that they would ever see that, but yeah. Now, I was concerned about that when I started doing the long shows. But I look forward to people interacting. Say something, I'll respond. Otherwise, I've gotten used to teaching and just blah, 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 on and on and filling space, you know, which I don't really want to do. In real life, I don't talk this much. I mean, you know, when I'm around people face to face, I give them a chance to talk. I ask them questions. I ask you guys questions, and I don't get a whole lot of answers all the time, you know, so yeah. So when you see her, Maui, now you know that we've been talking about her, you're going to bump into her, so what's the antidote? What would you rather bump into when you go out? If you don't have another image to put in your head, so that's how we change the energy. What would you like to bump into out there? Anybody in mind? In particular, just the kind of person you'd like to meet? So what techniques do you use to remove her tentacles, her little energy hooks? Okay, what's uplifting to you? What do you like to talk about with people that makes you feel good? I love bumping into people who know about art supplies and have some ideas they can't wait to share. I love being around creative people. Yeah, art, nature, and love. Okay, and love in what aspect? Love of God, love of earth, love of other people, love of sex, love of food. Be more specific. Love is what we're made out of, so what aspect are you interested in incorporating more of in your life? Charlie! Excellente, darling. How is my grandson today? How goes the packing? Maui sent me a clip of what I sounded like trying to do a live stream again. And it's horrendous. You can't understand a single thing. It's worse than just sped up like a chipmunk. It's like completely mentally illegible. Oh, I'm sure you will get it done. You're motivated. Did you watch that little TED talk? basically supports your entire position for not going right back to school. You'll want intellectual on your side. It's less than 10 minutes. You can watch it on the toilet. Well, my stepfather, my Harvey, has been quiet, not responding to texts. He's getting them. My sister in Detroit, so my younger sister just sent her 24 text messages about nothing. Oh, she's the nuts one, right? The one that forwards all the stuff. She's the Trumpian. The how can you be black and support Trump person? There's one in every family. I've got a sister like that. Okay, good, Charlie. It sounds like the youngest sister needs some emotional support. What's she going through? No, we need a little bit more color there. Oh, I do like this new bottle. It's got a good sprayer. Addicted to text. That does happen. Now, see, I use swipe when I'm texting. I've got swipe on my Kindle, I got swipe on my phone. I do not type the words out letter by letter unless it's not understanding what I'm typing, and then I have to do it letter by letter. I go like this, and it puts the words up for me. I do check before I hit send, because there are typos. Oh yeah, definitely. You can say everything you need to without having to keep sending it because you hit the maximum numbers of letters. But see, it's very easy. If I wanted, I could just like, when you think about how long a spoken paragraph really is if you text it out, it's a lot of space on a phone. So, and nowadays you can, a lot of them are like, speak it in, it'll type it out for you. But email does give you an opportunity to reflect on what you're saying, which is why a lot of people I'd like to connect with do not get much email from me. Because when I just write quickly, it's not really expressing everything I'm trying to express, and it can be misunderstood if I'm not careful with some people. So to write a good letter requires more time, and sometimes I don't have it, so you get a quick letter full of errors. But just so you know that I'm not forgetting about you or ignoring you. You told the youngest, stop texting you. She went into defense mode and told you that you needed her text. Oh my God. What was the subject matter? Don't let it get you. Don't let it get you. It's other people's insanity. Don't absorb it into your own. You can't help that they're nuts. You didn't raise them, create them, make their choices, do the same drugs and booze that they did. There was a time that I felt responsible to a certain degree for my sisters not being great as teenagers, because I left home at 15 and I wasn't there to set a better example. But my next younger sister was. I don't know. Well, her attitude was always very aggressive. She was a hell on wheels that as a young person I couldn't stand being around her. She was like the thunderstorm. Everywhere she went there was a storm over her head. And yeah, she was just like so angry with every single thing in the world. But she's way better now. Just junk stuff. But you need it. You need her junk. I told you, when they hit you with all that shit, hit them right back. I mean, literally, just send back anything they sent, just reverse it. Reply with a copy and paste. Yeah. Let them get them all back so they've got to look at them. And if you type something, they have to go looking for what you said. Keep them busy. But that's just me wanting, revenge on stupidity. But no, we don't have to take that route. You can just ignore it. Yeah, it gets really tiresome, doesn't it? I mean, it gets exhausting just going to your phone to answer all that stuff. There's so much stuff out there, and a lot of it is good when you know how to discern. But that's what I think like Facebook is good for. Instead of bothering people individually, just post it there and get it out of your system. Especially if it's junk. I use Facebook now strictly as an archive of stuff that this administration is trying to erase. Hey, well, tag you're it. My family's the opposite now. Well, no, I can't say that. The two in my family who would be the most notorious for passing along crap, I'm not talking to either one of them, so I'm spared their emails and texts, and thus eliminated a lot of misinformation. Like, one of them is a supporter of RFK Jr. You think I want any of her information? It's even though she has had some good information in the past, after you see some of those judgment calls on her part, you go, you know what, I can't trust your judgment anymore. Now when I hear something from her, it's an automatic dismissal. Yeah, you might be right, girl, but I'm not trying your stuff. It's like the commercials for just have this cinnamon every night with warm water and that will take care of the blue parasite in your... What blue parasite? What fucking blue parasite? Do you have a name for it? You got some science to back up that? Yeah, it's stronger than ivermectin. And we're not telling you any medical advice, even though we're telling you right now, it's been clearly marked as poison. It's highly toxic. But it can also kill worms if you have them. There's just too much risky business out there, and people don't follow up because it's easier just to accept the surface knowledge. And that's a drag. Oh, that needs more of a gray green. Nope, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to do better than that. Excusez-moi. You know the expression, blood is thicker than water? So is chocolate. Why doesn't your sister just pick up the phone and talk to you people? Or is it just better to get the text so you can ignore them? Yeah, that's what I thought. I hear you. Oh, yeah. No, I'm glad. I'm glad mine are too busy with their own lives. And there's the sharpener. I made my desk so neat I can't find what I need now. Where is it? Ah, there we go. And I'll find it eventually. I need to craft a safe tip for this needle. All right, what color do we have in here? It's a purple. Okay, we can keep that. Likewise, we can keep the green. And when we get down to little nibs, I'll be able to break out the big set. Of course, by then I hope I'm working on other things. Yep, wrong place. Come back. Keep it together. When somebody tells me they're busy, if I text them, like my sister Dee, she's on the road a lot, but it's no predicting what time she's going to be on the road or which days. So occasionally I'll send her something amusing or sweet, because we will share, you know, sweet animal things. And if she's driving, she lets me know she's driving. I don't spend 10 minutes following up on that saying, oh, okay, well, when you get back or when you stop, take a look at it. It's like, yeah, you're driving. I'll shut up. Yep. Smoother, thank you. The senior advisor of our building took a photo, group photo, around, when we had that, I don't want to call it a Christmas party. It was the day that the management buys us some cold, crappy food that nobody really wants to eat, but they're really proud of themselves, so we applaud them. But one thing that was good was the photograph, to get so many people who participate in there. And at first, a whole bunch of people were not going to come up because, like, you know, there are walkers and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, no, you don't. I started pulling chairs up forward. It's like, nope, you get up here. And I started arranging people in size order. But then last minute, somebody moved over and blocked a face. But we got a whole bunch of people in it. And it was, it's like, I would show you online, but that's illegal. I actually framed it and hung it up in my bathroom. It's about the only place I've got hanging space now. Oh, it might be important spam, maybe. That's up for them to decide. Usually if it says potential spam, I assume it's more stupid stuff. Because if you know me, you know how to contact me without going through a spam filter. And if you don't, I don't want to hear from you anyway. All right, we need more of a warmer color there. Come here. And there. More water. Get a little of this lovely brown and warm up this brown. Maybe a little red. It's not quite the right clayish color I want. Seeds, I've got seeds everywhere. Let's get some red. I like that a little better. So you get your computer fixed yet? Two people I know how to do a reinstall of Windows, because there was some strange corruption in their Windows files. But that took care of the problem. And they both people had different problems, but both problems were taken care of by the same answer. So you never know. No, for now I bought a mini computer, paying for it monthly. Well, well. What's a mini computer? A laptop? Yeah, it's reasonable. That's what I did with my laptop. I got an Asus through Walmart, and I paid it in, I think, 3 payments. Oh, that's too red. Glad I checked. That's all the laptops should be these days. My friend needed a replacement for her pad, and she did not want a laptop. Believe me, at her age, it was impressive that she wanted a basic pad. But she kept getting confused over a bunch of different things, so I spent a few hours taking care of her, getting her set up. I went online. She wanted to keep it around $100, I think. I found something for $99, but that was marked down from almost twice as much. But it had good ratings, so I got it. Turned out it was a fucking Google pad. It should be just about free. Everything on it was Google, set up for Google, every app Google. It's a Google pad. Google should pay for it. It's like, here, free. We've already got everything set up so we can track your every move. It's the new thing for 8 years. What's the operating system on it? Oh, do you mean, did it come out 8 years ago? The size of a coffee cup? How do you work on it? I mean, that's powering your monitor and your keyboard? I haven't heard of anything like that. I needed something I could write on in bed, which the desktop is not happening. So I got a small laptop. Cool. Who makes it? I haven't seen those. But then again, I have not been investigating the electronic world very deeply because I don't want to spend any money. And my computer's holding up. My laptop, it's Asus. I'm going to say mid-range, does not come with a bunch of stuff. I would have done better if I had more money. But I just needed something to work on my book. Yeah, right. You are the spirit. Don't bullshit yourself. You wanted something, you got it. It's okay. Honestly, we need to stop making up excuses for getting things that we want. We want it. That's the reason we get them. Anything that's going to make us happy, we desire it. That's your spirit telling you. hey, this is going to make you happy. And you go, all right. That's pretty much the short and long of it. That's why worship is so silly. I'm worshiping myself now. Of course, that is my opinion. I'm not saying it with the intent to piss anybody off, so. All right, we gotta have a background or table. What do I want to do? Did I already use that? Yeah, kind of. It's made by Asian companies. Oh, so not a recognizable name? Is that it? Like buying through Temu? We know it's being made in China, or maybe Korea, or maybe Japan, but in any case, I've been fretting actually because I need a couple of things that I got through Amazon originally. And now that I have to replenish my supply, I have to track down where else I can get this because I haven't seen anything around to replace it. So I'm really trying not to. Like one of them is medicine, and that's the more serious one. It's an over-the-counter thing, but it's I only buy third-party inspected and verified that this is really what they say it is and has the amount of stuff they say is in it. If they don't, third-party certify it, I don't want to buy it. And Walmart has almost nothing in the vitamin and supplement aisle that's third-party certified. So right off the bat, that eliminates 90% of what they've got. When they're tested, they find out that some of them don't have any of what they say is on the bottle, and they're still out there on the shelves because until they get enough bad press, they're not going to pull it off the shelf. They're going to sell it to you even though it's empty. So I need to know that if I'm spending money on something that I need for my body, it better be the good and right thing. Yeah, reviews help. Well, that's how it is for the Google pads. You have to go inside it to see who actually made it. You can get the information from inside. It's all in there, but not necessarily on a label. But just like your phone, when you look at the information operating your phone, it has to have everything. Who is actually handling your signals and all that. So you get to see a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes. But yes, reviews are definitely the way to go. I mean, we know that there are some people who crash ratings on purpose to be dicks. But you know when you read those, which ones are just hostile comments and which ones are authentic. Okay, you're blending in too much now, so let's get some more burnt in there. Oh, good. So you don't have any compatibility issues, iPhone to Windows? I've not had to integrate anything, so I don't know about it. I mean, I would assume you can, because, you know, some things have to work together, but usually these big companies are trying to make everything so proprietary that you have to use everything by them or you can't retrieve your information. Well, make sure that you have plenty of virus protection and a better damn password before you go play your game again. So you do not invite another virus from a jealous competitor. So are you getting any rain at all? Or are you still having to hand water everything? Oh, alizarin. Let's throw some alizarin in there just for contrast. I need something to represent water. Put a little blue in there. I used to like watering. I like playing with water. I also like playing with fire, but so what's next to harvest? How far away are you from your next harvest? Strawberries. How long a season do you get for harvesting strawberries? I used to get a couple of weeks down south. Yeah, basically you had to harvest them all by the end of 2 weeks. They were pretty much just the occasional. Usually left those for the rabbits or skunks. Let's face it, everybody likes wild fruit. But there is some I still have not been able to find to taste. There is something called a snowberry, a little white berry. Never found any. And that was another thing that ran across the ground. They look like little grapes. but they grow on the ground on a vine. Isn't that weird how strawberries can be such a tricky thing? Mold issues happen so fast with them. They need a lot of air. Chrysanthemum greens, all right. You like them? They're usually used in pickling ginger. Not a lot of people know about those. So you're not letting them flower. You're cutting the flowers off before they suck all the energy out of the plant, just putting it on the greens. Kind of your fertilizer is very different from whether you're trying to produce a flower or you're trying to feed the greens. So those are two different fertilizers. Yummy. Are you pickling your ginger? There's a woman on YouTube. I think she's Japanese. And she has a pickle jar. She teaches you how to pickle at home. And she's kept the jar going for 20 years. And she proves it's safe to eat because you go by the pH. So she has a pH tester, which is a little yellow unit that you've got to dip in and wait a second. And then she's got the pH testing strips, which I wish I could get my hands on. Those are very handy. Gives you a really fast, definitive which side you're on. But she's got an old-fashioned clay pickling jar, because the pickling jars are kind of, I think you could also do probably a bunch of different things, like kimchi and sauerkraut, anything that needs a little venting area. So it's a really cool setup. I just don't have anywhere in this apartment that I could do that. Yeah. Okay, you have to make sure your pH is right. Make sure your pH is right, because that's what determines which nutrients it's going to uptake. If the electrolytes aren't right, which is the pH is affecting the electrolytes, then the roots will not be able to attract, aka absorb, the ones that you need for creating the best fruit. So that's why sometimes, like, I had some cantaloupes that looked beautiful and they tasted like dirt. They grew fine, although one year I had a problem with pollination. They were not getting pollinated well enough. But yeah, my soil was just too high in iron, and even though this stuff was growing, it was growing great leaves, but the fruit just tasted crap. So it makes the pHs right for your strawberries first of all, and then go from there. Everything depends on pH, how well your plants thrive. Just I don't know why they don't spend more time teaching people about that, but yeah, it's pretty essential. Then you can look up, once you know what your soil profile is, you'll know what to look up. and what to add or subtract. It may be too much, because too much fertilizer, they can't absorb it. You just sour the soil, or basically you make salts in the soil, and plants don't like that at all. Like Miracle-Gro is, if you notice, even the chemical Miracle-Gro stuff, you have to make sure you're using the right one, because one formula is for producing great leaves, another one is for producing great flowers, then you've got the ones for veg. So there's definitely different nutrient profiles, not just for the individual plant, but just in general. So yeah, learning about that is just kind of crucial for good harvests. Some stuff, it's not that important if you're doing it in pots. But when you're planting things in the ground, you need to know that you're planting things that all need about the same pH, so they can be next to each other. If they have different pH needs, one of those plants is not going to thrive as well as it could. So yeah, it's always good to know. I know that in growing weed, we had special additives to make the buds sweeter, but that's not going to apply to a strawberry. That's for increasing the trichomes, basically. Did you send me something? Yes, you did. Oh, good. I'm glad they're in a cage. Protect them from the bunnies, right? And slugs. And gray mold. You know, you have so much growing now. I really would, in planning your next year's garden, you may want to re-examine what you've got grouped together. Again, companion planting will help things grow better. Like, I used to love cilantro, but cilantro doesn't get along well with a lot of other plants, and they can actually stunt the growth around it. So my cilantro was also good for another plant, so I used to put them together at the end of my garden. So at the end of the end of the bed was reserved just for the cilantro. And things like garlic, I could plant between basils and tomatoes. Tomato plants like basil and garlic growing with them. So oregano as well, but that gets bushy. Centipedes, chickens, and bugs, yeah. It's too bad, because like chickens eat the bugs, but if they also eat the strawberries, you can't have them next to the strawberries. One of the problems we had in growing in the field were cutworms. But they turned out, except for when you have a really big garden, they're actually very easy to defeat, because the cutworms, the way they work is they encircle, they just curl a whole worm self, like it looks like a caterpillar. It just completely curls around the base of your plant, and it chews all the way around. So basically it's like girdling a tree. If you do that, it dies. It just cuts off all the blood supply to the plant. So the easiest way is they don't go up, they just go around. So we just collected toilet paper inner tubes and cut them in half and made little, just protected the base of the plant with a collar and just taped it, and it saved things through the season of cutworms. We didn't lose any one year, but There were other years where we lost a few things because we didn't recognize what the problem was. It was just to go out there in the morning and we thought the deer were stepping on them or something, because it would just be like what the hell happened? That plant was amazing. And it turned out it's a cutworm. So once we got a grip on that, it all worked out for the best. Okay, I'm not crazy about this, but I'm starting to get an idea of what I'm going to need to do. Annie needs an illustration for her book of the celery growing and a bowl of soup, or a pot of soup. I haven't made any decisions yet, so this is just the first sketch idea. Bowl of soup, celery, baby celery. I'll have to do better than that, but that's a basic idea. The new gardener's growing tomatoes. Well, he can put tomato cages up and protect his tomatoes. That's what I would do. I would not be waiting for the chickens. I would go ahead and get some chicken wire. We used cages down south because, come on, we were out in the frickin' field in the middle of nowhere. We had cows, we had, not ours, but we were surrounded by cows and horses and raccoons and skunks and rabbits and wild turkey and turkey vultures, deer, wild turkey, of course. I mean, everything. We just had everything out there. Coyotes. No garden was safe out there. And I grew stuff to kind of offend things, like wormwood. Wormwood is, actually you can use that to make medicine, but wormwood is also offensive to rabbits. So you grow some wormwood and it basically, rabbits can't stand it, so they just avoid that. But if you don't have everything circled like a fence of wormwood, what's the use of it? The rabbit's just going to take a different route in. Well, why don't you give him some advice instead of waiting for him to give up or lose his whole fucking crop? New gardeners need all the advice they can get, don't you think? You were a new gardener. Oh, we need a spoon. I guess that would be gray. Or a ladle. Oh, he doesn't listen? Oh, well, in that case, yeah. He doesn't want any help. He'll learn the hard way. He doesn't take advice. Fuck him. I know lots of people like that. And definitely don't give more than you get. Not under the circumstances you're in. It's not like a whole volunteer thing and you're going to save them from themselves. You have to not care. How old is he? Well, wait. If he's new there and he doesn't know what the problems are, he'll learn like you did. Everybody else who already knows about the chickens will be laughing. Older than you, yeah. He should know better. Yep. Now when I write to Gloria and Harvey, either one of them, I have to use big letters. So on something this size, I just say something like, good morning. And they're in nursing homes. I don't say, have a good day. But something this size, I can write a few, well, one good sentence anyway. So I'll just practice that. I'll need to. Yeah, they're usually pretty good in gardening. But if he doesn't know what the problem is, oops, sorry, I don't mean to touch the microphone. If he doesn't know the local problems, then, you know. That's how it is for anybody whenever they move to a new place. You've got to learn what you can do. What grows, what doesn't, what your pests are, what controls you're going to need. He is working off on how important he is. Important to whom? Is his reality supporting how important he is? Or is he just alienating everybody around him? Yeah. You think it'll last that long? I mean, there'll be a lot of bugs between now and May. I don't miss that part of gardening at all. Down south, every time we conquered one pest or developed something, a defense against it, something else came up. It's like, oh God, the year we had Japanese beetles. Oh my God, I never saw so many Japanese beetles in my entire life. Even growing roses, I never saw so many Japanese beetles. They attacked my fruit trees, everything. They just went for everything in my garden. Not down in my field garden, up closer to the house garden, which is, I don't even know why, but that's where they were really bad. But then I found out, oh, because they have grubs underground and you can't deal with them. that way. You can't, I mean, you can either wait for them to pop out of the ground and then they're really a severe problem, or you can get a special drench of nematodes that you pour into the ground to attack the hidden grubs. Oh, they'll never get the garden going with that. Once or twice a week in your climate? Yeah, I think he's not going to be satisfied with that. All right, do I have another big one here? Yes, come here. I knew I had another one. I'll get off the little ones for a bit. I have these, an assortment of things that need to be finished up or thrown away. I do not remember. The only time I could take days off of the garden was winter. And I wasn't growing anything. Everything was, you know, well, you do things in winter, but not very much. But once the ground could be worked, there wasn't a day off. We went until harvest was all done, and the cleanup was done, and the preserving was done, etc. So, I don't know. Doesn't sound like he's a sincere gardener to me. I need a pointy brush. I'm going to start asking the other gardener what's happening in the garden. He doesn't. Good. Smart answer. He wants something from Amazon, let him open his account and wallet. Yeah. Okay, well, you know what the saying is. You reap what you sow. And if he's not talking to the others, you think they mind? They're probably relieved. I am very fortunate. We do have some really nice people here. I've got one person that was in my group until I stopped doing the group. And I can't even gift her. I have tried so hard to give her things, but she always finds a way to throw money at me. Well, that's not your fault or responsibility. He's a grown man. He needs to learn how to make friends, I guess, and come off his high horse, perhaps? Ah, well, that is his problem, isn't it? You know what's really stupid? You're all a bunch of retired people on fixed incomes. lucky to have what you've got, and yet someone can still feel like they're better than someone else. It's just so ludicrous. I'm king of the hill. Or queen in my case. Social equity. I think used to call that friends. He's got no friends. And from the sounds of it, sounds like he's not heading towards making any new friendships in the very near future. Just unfortunate for him. Oh, we have no color there? Let's try again. Here, you know what? Let's gray that down a little. There we go. Oh, nice. Well, I'm sure that's true, Maui. You're putting a lot of effort into it. It looks nicer because of what you're doing. And that's very flattering, of course. That gives you some social standing. Can't take it to the bank, but it's nice. I have been noticed for motivating people around here. Spreading good cheer. Encouraging. But no garden. Although I am showing people how to sprout what they want. The question is, are these people going to protect your garden? I'd like to think that they would, because they like you. How many flags do you have? They don't get confused and think that's where you're from? Hello, darling. How are you, Edgar? Comment ça va? American flag, Filipino flag, African American flag. You got the Hawaiian flag? Edgar, très bien, merci. I have been busy cooking and baking all day, and I'm not done. I tried broadcasting again on the phone, and it was the worst. Making rice crackers, rice with coconut and sesame. My samples were not cooked long enough, so I'm going to thin it out and make it spread more evenly instead of pushing everything down. But what did get crisped up was delicious, so I'm definitely going to do this. In fact, hold on a second. Oh. Stick it in the refrigerator for a while. Let's take a look at this. Yep. Not good. They're not good. It's too white. It's too thick. Tastes good, but it's wrong. So the crispy edges are fine. Yeah, I gotta thin this out. I'm just finishing up actually. I made another couple of note papers. I'm practicing making celery and soup. A friend of mine wants me to do an illustration for her next book, which is going to be a bowl of soup, the celery growing from this, like I grow it here. So this was just the first sketch to try it out, so it's just a note card for a friend. And that's just a springy hello card. And I'm working on another one, which I'll just write a little note in the back of it. So I'm not doing a whole lot. Today was cooking. I cooked a pork roast. I made chocolate cookies. I made the rice batter to make rice crackers. And I'm getting ready to do it again. I gotta cook this stuff up before it goes bad. Oh, I could use more tea. And thank you. How are you doing? How was school? Are you back in school? Holiday over? Yep. Definitely need to redo that. What I'm eating. Let me. Yeah. So when I started to look up, why am I getting that really weird chipmunky sound? It sounds like I'm sped up. So like, it shouldn't be that way, but I haven't been able to find the correcting space yet, what to click or change. Oh. So, are you in therapy yet? Oh, snowing. Fun. Well, I am getting ready to go, but I'll show you what I'm doing. I started working on a miniature version of my big canvas so I can iron out the challenges before going near my 4-foot canvas. So I started experimenting. In fact, I can do that right now. It's time to do this. It's dry. I have mixed up this thinned out paint. Oh, that went right in the center. I was hoping I could avoid that. I tried to lay down some plain white glue in the center to keep this from soaking it up. Ah, that's too bad. Well, as long as they get you on the list so that eventually you'll be able to get some help, because you really, to succeed in anything, you're going to need to learn how to get a grip on your anxiety. And because you're neurodivergent, at least to some small degree, you're going to need coping mechanisms that can be taught to you, and you need to be in the right environment to learn them. So I am hoping that for you. Oh, that's glue. Let's get white paint. Aha. Well, at least I'm glad your mom is trying. So many do not have a mother who will even give it a second thought. You need help? Oh well. Sorry to hear that, kid. Work it out. So at least she's got your back as best as she knows how at this point. It's usually advisable that when one person in the family needs some help, the rest of the family needs to be trained in how to support them. So family sessions here and there. Just keep appreciating who you are for your own uniqueness, and it'll work out okay in the long run. Of course I do. I pay attention to people who come in here, particularly young ones who are going through different changes. It's hard being young. I appreciate that. All right, this will have to dry, so I'll see what the real colors are going to end up like. I am trying to get something, because look at how cool this looks. See, I've got a little bit of white in there, and that came out just right. This one I put some yellow in, which is another choice, but I'm not sure yet. These are experiments before I go ahead and do them all. After all, we made a box of these for the big canvas, but until I figure out exactly how to handle it, I don't want to touch the big canvas. After all, it took like, what, 6-7 months to do what I did, and I can screw it up really fast, and I don't want that. So when I figure this out, then on this little one, I'll be able to transfer that. I mean, not this yet, but I'll be able to transfer the information I accumulate and put it up on the big one. So I made these just for fun, and I'm not sure I'll be using these in the big canvas, but I wanted to experiment with them anyway, just to get some more texture on here, you know, something more fun. But I think I made them too big for something like this, too long, so I have to rethink that part. Actually, it's getting really exciting. Not the story, because the story I'm not sitting there. I've written the first 2 chapters. The rest is all the research I'm doing, because I have to become each character, and I have a major character who's male and from England, so I have to do the research on him, but he's the easier one. The harder one is the Scargan, who has become a female, and she is whisked away from her planet to Namaris, but she has, her head and her features are very much like an alligator. So I'm studying the sounds and the emotions that alligators make when they're communicating, and I have to imagine what it's like to try and communicate with those limitations, you know, without having a lips that make certain sounds. So it's been really interesting, and I'm really enjoying it. All right, my darling, chest depressed you? Well, you know what? It is time for me to make those crackers and go on my merry way. So, sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. I'll be back tomorrow, definitely, somewhere around 4. Yes, I must go out tomorrow, so I'll be, well, thank you. Don't worry. As soon as it's done, I'll make sure you have a copy, and maybe we can get that translated too. So sweet dreams, everybody. and I'll see you tomorrow sometime. Maui, aloha.